want to commit sin. I don't want to commit sin. 2025. I don't want to commit sin. God give me money to marry one. I don't want to see with Olosho again. God give me money to marry one. I don't want to commit sin in 2025. Oh, God. I don't want to kill Olosho again.
All right. For me, that's a cry for help. And imagine when a pastor holding his Bible with his, instead of you preaching the word to take people in, you are seeking for help. And trust me, people, you see the way people are passing, that man is saying what he really needs. He said he doesn't want to patronize the sex workers. He wants to marry, so people should give him money. He's not even asking, give me money to build a church or give me money to preach the word. Don't give me offering. Give me money, let me get a wife and get married. And trust me, if I remember correctly from the Bible, even Paul said that if you're one that could do without having intimacy, you necessarily do not have to get married. But if you know you cannot,
that's true.
Get married. This man has already know he cannot, so he wants to get married. He wants to be to like. So somebody should help Pastor. Okay, I'll start from you, Pastor Shane. What would you say about this video?
Okay, let me start with the one fact that not everybody that is preaching on the road or that carries the Bible as a pastor. We should not dissipate the pastoral office. It takes a lot to become a pastor. So it's not just somebody that say, oh, probably somebody just pick him up today and say, it takes a lot to become a pastor. I know, like we say in those secular, we don't see and pick. It's something that we just pick on the road. Being a pastor is not something that somebody is just going. So such a person like this is a person that is, he's been sincere. But the fact that you don't have a wife doesn't mean you carry Olosho. That is height of pervasive mindset. So how can someone be going to carry Olosho and lacks of that? So that's but nevertheless, he's being open and he's trying to be honest with himself and trying to be married and lacks of that. You don't go about telling people to give you money. That's a beggarly life. Our God is not like that. You talk to God. If God sees that you are sincere about it, He provides. He told me when I was to get married, I had a lot of millions to spend. I said, Lord, how am I going to do it? He said, quit your job, quit everything, sit down, I will take care of it. And I sat down, He took care of everything. You know, so our God is not somebody you go and be begging on the road that you are. No, this is desecrating pastoral office. And also, towards pastors out there, any pastors that begin to delve into sin is going to destroy himself. You know, I said that's, okay, permit me to really mention this because I need to mention this so that people can understand what Naomi faced. Naomi going from that's even what she went through in the recent time shows that she has a true calling. Because when a child of God begins to delve into some things, I knew it was just a matter of I was going to go through all this. Because that's to show that so many pastors out, when you get into these things, that's what kind of thing you face. Because by experience, I know that when you begin to get into sin, you go through a lot. God will expose you. God will humble you. You know, that's what Naomi faced. And so I just encourage her to get back to our God. And this pastor in question, he needs to go back to his God and talk to him. God does not molest pastors like this.
Okay, Patricia, I know you're not a pastor, so I want to hear the angle you're going to come from. So what would you say?
For me, like I say, prayer duty is a calling. Because some of us, we are not on the pulpit, but we're on the street. Our own ministry is on the street. So when I see such a video, what I see is, first of all, mental check. You see, we have to face reality. You say I'm serious. I'm not too serious. I'm just a realistic person. See, I think too much. Because I think too much, I really don't see the way people see things. I don't view, that you're calling that man pastor. I've seen first-hand person that they call pastor almost killed his wife. So, and something like that kind of person, you take the person first of all to a mental check. One, take him for treatment, give him food to eat, because you have not you say you don't want to patronize Olosho. But where is the money? The money you want to use to patronize them, you should have saved it to do it. And look at the way he's dressed. Actually. Okay, so such person preaching on the road, do you think people would listen? Even even Jesus Christ dressed so, was looking good. That's why people sat down to listen to him. So that's not, actually people use the word pastor because they see everybody preaching the word. So I tell people that I'm a minister on the street. We try to take children out of the street, do what we can do, counseling, mentorship. Is also,
that's your ministry.
That's a ministry. But that man, you see everybody say, pastor, they beg for wife money. No, that's not supposed to be so. First of all, mental check. He has a problem. So we see things too normal in this part of the world. Some people think everybody's normal. Everybody's not normal. So we need to start looking at those areas so that people can get better before you can get wife. You can't get a wife when you don't have a work. Because first of all, God gave Adam work before he gave Adam a wife. So you don't have a work, you want to take a wife? No, God cannot be a wife when you don't have a work.
Because you will not allow another person's child
to suffer. Thank you so much.
Preacher. Okay. Well, Pastor James said something, and I want to, I'm not digressing, but I want to kind of disagree with what you said. You said a pastor or someone who is into sin, but the only thing I just want to wrap up is, even the Bible says, if you are without a sin, you should be the first person to cast it, because there is nobody on planet Earth that is without sin, even pastors. In fact, I feel they are the one that fall into sin the more, because they are closer, they are like up high. So any small thing like this, in fact, they are stumbling down the mountain. So I don't know if you kind of
I should expatiate on that.
Okay.
It's not the fact that they don't go into sin, but I said the penalty is always very grievous.
Okay.
I'm an experienced man of God.
Okay.
It's so grievous that in fact, you are playing with your destiny. You are playing with any pastor that gets involved, a true pastor, a true man of God. When you get to delve into sin, you are messing up, you are setting yourself up for failure in destiny and in life. You know, so that's why I'm using that strong word, that any pastor that is a man of God, the fact that you are even, the man saying that he's going to meet prostitutes, he is showing that he needs, you know, like Miss Pastor, he needs mental check, and also he needs training. It's not every pastor that has ministerial ethics. Exactly. You know, he does not have this, what is called, that's the training we go for. We are pastors read more than lawyers. We read more than any profession. As I told you last week, I paid for a training next week. All through next week I'll be in a training. We read more than, we have to be, you know, so when a pastor now comes up and begins, I saw a lady at bus stop preaching and relaxed that. You see, when you see this kind of person, you know that this person knows what she's doing. She has gone through the training. This is what she has come to do. So when someone that comes on the road and just begin to say, you know, no, pastor for interested, So like the news that was flying all over saying a gospel musician killed so they just discredit that name, gospel. In fact, so there's not everybody that really carries a Bible. That's why before I call somebody a pastor, I will find about, because if you call that name pastor, he knows that you've gone through some trainings and you have been properly trained. So pastors fall into sin, but the penalty is grievous. So anybody that is going to that or trying to delve into it, and let me try it, you are toiling with your destiny and you are toiling with your life. Many of them have even died untimely. It's a very sacred office. It's a very sacred office.
Anyways, we have let's not go into our topic. We've been able to say that, but like I said, while we are also checking him up, like we said, mentally, I also think they need to answer him. Let's go again,
if they give you money to go and marry, who will give you money to take your wife?
Pastor, let me tell you, there are people that will marry that man. Yes. Once they give him money and he looks a bit better.
That's what I'm saying. Who will pay him to take care of the wife? You know, she said.
Continue the preaching.
No, when they give him money to go and do wedding.
Okay. It's not his calling. That's not his calling. You should find another calling.
He should go and work under a church to get they pay him stipends and so that he can work with God.
Maybe one sister in the church will like him, and
No, he will get him married is a very small thing, but maintain the woman. Frustration will make him kill the woman eventually if he does not have money to take care of the woman.
Please, let's give this pastor thing. It's endless. We don't have a solution right here, but we've been able to, profess some that you could just work with. Okay, coming up, what do we have next?
Yeah, the first topic we'll be treating today will be developing emotional intelligence for better relationship. When people hear emotional intelligence, or let's say Pastor James,
Okay.
when you hear emotional intelligence, what does it mean simply for you?
Okay, emotional intelligence is ability to understand yourself and be able to understand what triggers you, and as well how to respond to other people. So one of the weakness anybody can have, and one of the things all of us must work hard. In fact, my mentor told me many years ago, keep working on your emotions. You can't be a great leader when you are emotionally weak. You know, so he always told me that. And so emotional intelligence, what anybody, you are a husband, you are a wife, because that's what has broken many homes. The fact that this one says one thing and the other one does not decipher or digest the content very well and just respond, and arguments beat each other. And so everybody must take our time to develop ourselves emotionally, whereby how we reason with others, how we understand what triggers us. If you say something that can trigger me, either I move away from there or avoid that discussion that can lead to something that will cause a labalu in the house.
Nice.
You know.
Okay, so Patricia, like he just gave a very good simple definition, and that is, in fact, for me, what he said, the crux of it is, when you sense that this thing always breaks you emotionally or triggers you, leave that place or do not even dabble into such conversations. That for me is intelligent. Yeah. Trust me. So, but when you now see that you even run away, you know, some people, they will always say you run away to fight another day.
That's what makes you.
So if you're wrong, and you don't handle that, you will come back to face the same thing. Yeah. Now, when you are at this point, this juncture, what exactly do you think people can do to be able to, you know, scale through?
You see, people underestimate emotional intelligence in corporate organization, in families, in social work, and the school environment. Everywhere you go, the society as it is, people need to start training people on emotional intelligence. Even as a wife, you need to learn that. So for me, mental check is, people don't have a checklist. I do. Some people think that only your checklist is just, I have a car, I have a house. No. You know, you have to start from your spiritual life, your physical life, your emotions. My emotion is key. Number one, my first checklist is my emotion. You know, I tell people that I can put 100% of my emotions because I've learned to master it with time. So it's not just something that I have been so broken and hurting and by people that I now know what to do, when to keep quiet, when to just ignore you, and when to talk. Sometimes people feel that expression, when you express your feeling, you're being angered. Sometimes people need to understand that at a certain time you know when to keep quiet. Like when you said that when you try to avoid issues, sometimes you cannot avoid issues all the time. Yeah. But when you respond to people, how you respond is what matters. Is either break them or make them. So when you keep running away from conflicts and this person keep bringing that bad vibe, and you cannot run away from them because you're in the same environment, you're in the same workspace, you're in the same church, you're in the same political section, you're in the same environment. You know, you cannot run away. You don't want to quit your job because you have issues like that. So I feel that it's time for you to look at the person. Do I benefit from this person? At work, do I really benefit from this person? Does the person really impact me? If you're someone that your madness or your attitude is 100%, right? I will say it that way. This is how I feel. The way you react to me is the way you are. I don't blame myself for your reaction. I feel that you're emotionally unstable.
What you did that made the person react that way.
So that's why we are different. So you need to understand that people react to you the way they feel. Like somebody is coming from the road. Now he said he was coming from, and he says somebody hits him, and maybe when he gets here, start reacting to all of us, giving us attitude due to what he has experienced. So people transfer aggression. That's why emotional intelligence is very important for everybody. So I see you, and when you act, I'm like, okay, do I need to keep quiet? Oh, guy, have fun now. This thing you just said. I would try to see if I can talk you out of this. So because sometimes people need to know that this is what they did. Do you know that some people you keep telling them they will not change? But sometimes some people you need to block them. Not angry with them, not mad. Just your own.
Your space.
Just block them. Good morning, go to my bedroom. Good morning. Go. We are in the same hostel. Good morning. I stay my lane. So people should start creating boundary because you need your mind to be at a pace where you can reason better.
What if it's your partner?
Okay.
Right, and then let's say you're the woman, and then you have emotional intelligence. Well, your partner is, or the partner is someone that every time he gets angry, he's just always wanting to pour everything out. How would you handle? You can't say you cut off your partner, or I mean, you've told him countless times, okay, we need to solve issues differently, and he's not just responding to what you said.
that.
It's just how you made him feel, or his reaction that is everything for him. If he has reacted,
and I like the angle she's coming from, because now, do you know it's different when you speak to a woman?
Yeah.
She tends to still keep quiet because she has to maintain the home, she has to keep the relationship. But a man,
you
it's
can't
their
tell
word
me
that is last.
Yeah, okay.
So they will tell you what to do. Pastor James, we're coming for you.
Okay. So I use my siblings as a case study, because I am in the middle of 3 boys, and they're both married. There are 3 of them are married. You see, my eldest brother, he can be so angered that you'll be thinking, what is this? Like, he can react that way. But because I've studied him with time, that when he's talking, just keep quiet. You understand? His anger will go from this level to this level, and you'll be wondering. But the other one, the second one, we talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. I call that one lawyer. I would say that you don't listen. You argue a lot. So I know that part of him. You win. Simple. The third one, you can never predict what that one is here or neither here or there. So before you get married, you should study your partner.
That's true.
Some attitude comes up. I tell people, character is like smoke. It comes up in a relationship. It's just that we women, we are desperate. We want to get married, Mrs. This. You just go into it. My brother's wife knows him so well. To the other one so well. Because sometimes I used to tell my younger sister, look at this girl. If you were the one that married my brother, Jesus. You see the difference. I used to tell my younger sister, if you are the one that married first, my elder brother, the whole house will be. See the way she has been able to know the person she's married. And so I think before marriage, there are some things we see. We don't talk. I believe communication is key. Many people shy away from communication. Respect is very important. A man needs respect. I always tell people, no love, you're talking about. A man loves you. You respect a man. For me, it's period. You respect a man. Whether you're any more than him or you respect him, right? So, but before the relationship, you already know, before the marriage, you already know that you have the, honey, this guy you have, you're tempered. Please, can you see how you guys can work it out? You understand? So, but when you now marry, you're not in the situation, you didn't know that before. Try to work with him. See where he gets flared up. See what you say that make him get angry. Then you just keep quiet. When you see that he's at that stage, you see everything will change. Sometimes when a man's talking and you're talking back, he feels you're disrespecting him. You're trying to put, oh God, don't try to put the points, prove your point later. Leave him, let him cool down. Then later you can now...
And then your emotion suffers.
No, your emotion doesn't suffer. Being meek doesn't mean you're weak.
Okay.
Being meek means you have so much power to do things and you decide to keep quiet. Right? So people that are meek doesn't mean that they cannot punch your face. It's just because they're like, okay, I have the wisdom to make it right. Okay, we'll talk later. Then later you go to the table and say, oh God, this thing you did yesterday is not nice. So the way you approach it matters. So I think that's for me.
That is beautiful.
Oh, okay. I love what you said. That's beautiful, because coming from a woman's angle, we all needed that. Now, for Pastor, you're the man now.
Okay.
In response to Covenant's question, what would you say a woman should do at that point now? Because you are the man, so you probably be in a better position to give us a good answer to.
Okay, no, she has to approach a woman. That a woman should respect a man.
Yeah.
Okay, I talk about a man. How a man should handle.
Yeah.
Men are egoistic, and being egoistic sometimes it takes their win. So because I've seen some men.
Both of you are using
no disrespect for men, but I'm a pastor and I deal with a lot of men. Sometimes when you see I attend to all of these things almost often. sometimes when you see some men, when they talk, when they respond to some things, you think that they went on vacation with their brain, So they from men. So but sometimes, so like what he said, women. Now let me now balance it too. Now, men should, in the course of courtship, a man, that emotional intelligence is one of the most important principles that we must understand because of marriage. One thing I learned about my wife while we were courting was the fact that she doesn't take time to listen before she responds. And that has been an issue. When we're having a conversation, okay, you talk, I talk, we reason with ourselves, we have and I discover that are not our own. By the time you are coming down, you not have even gotten to the end of the matter, you have responded. Then how do you have a conversation?
Right. But actually, I think that's for all women. It's just that some women have mastered themselves, so they know they allow you to.
So that thing gets me, being a coach, and I know the importance of conversation. That thing we get. I say always take time. I said, this your hair, doesn't know. In fact, so over the time, 6 years in marriage, we have been always, each time we want to have a conversation. Over the weekend, there was a conversation we will have. I said, God, how do I go about this now? Because I know it was going to be, we will take it out of proportion. So, and I have to be, as a man, I was supposed to try to lord over it, but I know the kind of person I want to deal with. That this simple conversation can get out of proportion. And so I have to take it meticulously, and I say, okay, just calm down. Okay, and I to my time, okay, say your own. Are you exhausted? Okay, you have exhausted your own. So are you going to be patient for me to say my own? So that's what is called emotional intelligence. Yes. You are able to understand your partner. Exactly. And women, just like you said, women are naturally, emotionally, they get out easily, they pour it out easily. So men should take it easy with women. Yeah. A woman is saying something, telling something doesn't even mean all those things she's saying. Exactly. She's just pouring out, blasting and lots of that. I've tested women like my wife like that. She says something, she get angry, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to react on what she said now. When I'm going to begin to want to react, she now says, did I mean what I said? I just said this. So I'm not going to know that many of those things they are saying, we don't really. You see a woman, just the movies we are watching, you see a woman, I don't want to get away, lock the door. They say, after they lock the door, all they just find them to doing that, just sit down, they sink down and start crying. Why are you crying? You say, so men should come from a point of understanding whereby women don't actually mean all that they are saying. They're just they are wired emotionally like that to just respond. So it's now the onus is on the men to be patient with women. That's why our parents will always advise us: a man that's going to marry, you must be patient. That's why the Bible says, love your wife. That means love is patient. Yes. So any man that cannot be patient with a woman is not even ready to be married. Because that's one of the key to living with a woman, because you must be patient. If you are not patient, woman will test your patience, and if you miss it out, that's what results into physical abuse, whereby you are talking to me like that, you begin to punch and laugh at that.
If you now eventually raise your hands on her, they will not see her fall.
No way.
You are the man.
She said this. She said no. It's not about what she said. It's your own reaction. Your emotional intelligence is so low. That is why you are responding with
So that means a man that raises his hand on a woman is definitely emotionally intelligently low.
Low. I've gotten to a point whereby my wife, sometimes we have an argument. She says some things. No, you won't put me into that shoe. I just move away and lax at that. I just go away and lax at that. Sometimes I wonder myself, is it same me? A woman will be saying this thing to me, and I will not punch her face and lax at that. That was why God took me through that time of patience and knowledge before I could get married. And so a man should work more on their intelligence, because women will always get you angry.
Yes. Oh Lord, men out there listening.
Really test your patience.
We will say things. Let me paint a scenario, not even a scenario. I've noticed that women, when we are hurt and we feel like men are being very reserved, they don't show their emotions on their face, they feel so quiet. If a woman is talking to you, you're not responding, she's talking to you, you're not talking, she will say that thing that will hurt you, that will make you, if you're not careful, you raise your hand.
That is true.
So that is when most men take a walk, or they just block their ears or travel while their body is still there. Because if they respond or listen to what that woman is saying, and I don't know, where did we get this kind of mouth from? So who gave us?
said something. Pastor said that love. A man. Do you know when God created us? And that's why He said, women respect this submissive. Because He know that these people.
He did it with time.
See, I'm trying to make a point. I studied that part. I'm like, God say a man love. You know, He knows a man has ego. So a man is to love, to culture, patience, kindness, and all those stuff. And we women are emotional, and they call us the weakling, right? But God knows that we are not weakling. We are too strong.
The most powerful.
We are too. See, we are too strong, and that's why He said respect. So that's how
we know that you are what you are. But
I'm telling you, I'm like, I told my brother, I said, we use our mouth to put you in trouble.
yeah.
So sometimes when a woman start talking like this, some men, if as Pastor said, just like, Madam, you know they're tired. So he just let her pour out her emotion. Sometimes when a woman says, don't touch me, it's a lie. Your wife is telling you, don't touch me. It's a lie. She inside her mind is like, it's not what I meant to. Maybe you decide you want to touch her.
They are one and opposite.
See, decide not to touch her throughout the day, and the next day.
It's another issue.
Is it because I told you not to touch me?
I didn't
try enough.
One person, he was like, you women, I don't understand. I said, that is it. When a woman says, don't touch me, you are married to her and you love her. It's a lie, you. She doesn't mean don't touch me.
Yeah.
That's the way she can react and just try to think she wants to hurt you. She's thinking she wants to hurt you.
But she's
and
hurting
using
herself.
Yeah.
So why do we keep hurting ourselves when we mean this and we say the other way?
It's just like, please don't follow me. I don't want you to follow me.
And then
What
you
if you say, you not follow me?
You know, so these are things they play out in movies. You see a woman parking and look, I'm getting out of this house, and the man, okay, go now, and the woman will be going. I said, you know, me. That's why anyone that's going to get married should go for marriage counseling so much before they get married. That's why we are, you know, these are things we'll be. I was taught. I went through almost 6 months with my wife for counseling, and in the process, initially started me, Pastor, I've taught this, I've read all this Bible back and forth, you know, but I haven't gone through that. I realized that, Father, all every man needs, no matter who you are, you need to submit yourself to my counseling before getting married.
Truthfully, and again, another thing I usually sum it up is, I will posted it, okay, I have about 3 sentences, so I'm just going to be quick with that. Now, the first one is, a woman has hair, a long hair. And she went to a barbing salon, basically, and she shaved all her hair and installed a lace wig.
Okay.
And men were like, I don't understand. You have hair. You shave all the hair and put on an artificial hair. What's the problem? And I said, that is how you should never try to understand a woman.
Yeah.
Just follow her like, you know, I don't understand. Then another thing is, even the Bible said it caused a man to sleep a deep sleep
Before you could bring
out the bone of the man's bone and the flesh of his flesh. That's number 2. And number 3, a story says that a man, a stranger in the land, met a woman by the well and asked her, could you describe a woman? Who is a woman? And she started shouting for help. And the villagers came with knife and everything. And when they came, she was like, wait. This man saved me from wolves, saved me from this. And they started praising him, you know, like the king, because that woman hardly talks to anybody. And that's like the first time she's talking. And, you know, they were praising him and, you know, glorifying him, and even almost wanted to make him the king. And the woman now came to the man and said, now do you understand who a woman is?
She can make
like, we can make you. And that same moment was destroyed. And the man was like, oh wow. Since you also don't try to put yourself in the shoes of understanding. And when I saw that, even me got to understand exactly who a woman is. You know, you understand. So it takes her. See, I pity men actually, because your level of emotional intelligence
it has to be up there.
When I see people celebrate 30 years in marriage, 40 years in marriage,
it's a milestone.
He's a man.
He's a milestone.
Because I'm like, how did you do it?
I'm telling you.
40 years?
There's abuse here and there. Men abusing their wife, you know, physically. Although women do that, but nevertheless, a lot of men, because they can't curtail that emotional. I mean, that emotional abuse from the woman. You know, women will abuse you verbally.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it will tamper with your ego, it will tamper with your emotion. Then you now want to respond. Don't do that.
Right.
You just walk away from that. Get the conversation to be another time, and try to, but never get to that point where,
Being physical.
because it's in nature. No matter, you must learn to be patient with your man. You must learn to be patient.
You must learn to be patient. I know some men will even tell you, as I see, just be a team man. That's because they are trying to console themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
For explaining me about not being true. Anyway, kudos to all the men who stayed married and who are in a relationship. And sometimes, you know, they used to say if they go to church, my pastor will say, I know if I ask some married men and some married women that if they are told to remarry again, will you marry the man and the same woman? And 90% of them said they are not going to marry the same man and they will not marry the same woman. They will change. Congratulations, all of you who have stayed married. Truthfully, you guys, I'll not say,
Bravo.
you're doing well. Kudos to you. And on the